So what is up, guys? Welcome to my Money in the Bank, WWE Money in the Bank 2015 discussion. I wanted to do something like this. I've been a wrestling fan since I was really young, and I see CM Pulse used to do stuff like this all the time, and it made me really want to try something like this for my channel, even though my channel is not really wrestling oriented, because I don't own a wrestling game on my computer yet. Hopefully one day I will get a wrestling game, and I'll play through something with that. 2K16 coming out in 4 months, something like that. There's a high possibility I could grab that and we could maybe enjoy that together. But I really wanted to talk about the results, just general discussion about what happened last night at Money in the Bank. I'm recording this at 8 in the morning the day after because I worked the night shift, so I missed the main event and then had to leave and then come back, leave to go to work and then come back afterwards, watch it myself. So I just finished the main event just like 5 minutes ago. So first off, we have the pre-show. The pre-show starts off as any other pre-show. They discuss the matches. We have R-Truth versus King Barrett, which is absolute Snoresville, whatever. I turned it on like halfway through that match, and whoa, R-Truth beats King Barrett because King of the Ring doesn't mean anything anymore, I guess. So that's cool, I guess. So the show, after that, they have a Dusty Rhodes tribute, rest in peace. But then the show starts, and we get to start off with a Money in the Bank ladder match. This match was interesting. So it's Sheamus, Randy Orton, Neville, Kofi Kingston, Kane, Roman Reigns, and Dolph Ziggler in the match. So the match starts off, and, they all split off into their own ways, and then Kofi Kingston puts up a ladder, tries to climb up it, and they all turn around and realize what he's trying to do, and they all attack Kofi Kingston, and it just breaks down in absolute chaos from there. And, so, it gets, there are a few decent spots here. There's a point where Roman Reigns sets up a ladder in the corner, and, power bombs Kofi onto it, and then when Ziggler goes to fight him, he power bombs Ziggler on top of Kofi Kingston, or Neville on top of Kofi Kingston, not Ziggler. There are a few really decent spots here. Orton got about 3 RKOs off, one on Kane, one on Neville, and one on Kofi, I think. And then Roman Reigns countered it. They had a little dispute, and then he takes him out, and then Roman Reigns does one of his infamous dives to the outside where he just clearly cleans the top rope, jumps right over, which is cool that he can do that, but I wish he had some way of doing more flair. He did much better tonight. In previous times I've seen him jump over the top rope, and he just kind of like sticks one knee out, and he's like, and it just looks awkward to me. But tonight, A-okay, he did it like a Superfly splash. It looked really nice. I'm approving of that dive. Roman gets back in the ring, sets up the ladder, is about to win the contract, and then lights go out, lights come back on. Bray Wyatt is standing in the ring and hits Roman with his sister Abigail, and then walks out. Everybody's laid out, and then Sheamus rolls into the ring, climbs up the ladder, sets up the ladder, and now he's Mr. Money in the Bank. Of all the people in this match that had potential to be really good, like, Neville didn't make much sense. Ziggler's still got a feud right now, but Roman Reigns is clean, so he makes sense to win. It would have been really interesting to see Kane win, and I know this sounds kind of strange right now, but the idea of Kane winning and then Rollins retaining later on in the night would be really interesting from the Authority perspective, because there would just be a lot of stuff going on there with Kane always, holding up the briefcase right next to Rollins. It's kind of the same thing with Brock and Rollins, but now it's as if Brock was standing next to Rollins all the time every week, and that would make it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun, and it would add something for Kane. So I thought I would be okay with Kane winning. Kofi Kingston, obviously, with the New Day, that would have been wonderful. And then Randy Orton, I didn't really see Randy Orton walking out with it. Randy Orton and Ziggler were my two, like, there's no way. But we get Sheamus, who the only thing I can see him doing with it is cashing in and losing, or putting like Kennedy did and putting the Money in the Bank contract on the line in a match and losing the match to someone else. So that could potentially happen. So next up is the Divas match, and I'll be straight up honest. I took a shower during this match, so I didn't see most of it. When I came back in, though, the commentators were raving about how great the match was, all that they were doing. So I was like, okay, it's probably a solid match. I still haven't gone back and rewatched it, even though I love Paige. I love Paige to death, but I haven't watched it. So I did get in time to see the strange finish. Basically what happens is Paige knocks Nikki Bella to the outside. Brie pulls her under the ring, and they try to do twin magic, but this time Paige reverses the pin. And it's funny too, because when I was in the shower, I was thinking, oh, I wonder, since they do the twin magic thing, that they're gonna go for the twin magic, she's gonna reverse it for the pin, 1, 2, 3, and then she's gonna be like, no, I'm Brie, and then they're gonna be like, oh, it's interference, disqualification, a rematch at Battleground, I guess. But they didn't go that route. Instead, Paige rolls up, or Brie rolls up Paige. Paige reverses it, 1, 2, 3. She says, I'm Brie, but the ref doesn't know what to do. And then Nikki gets in the ring and hits Paige with the forearm and hits her with the rack attack for the pin, 1, 2, 3. So Nikki walks out. It was a strange finish. I thought it was kind of unique, though. I didn't think it was terrible. So after that, we get more. We get the Intercontinental title match, Ryback's first ever title defense in WWE. I was kind of looking forward to it just because I'm proud of Ryback. I mean, Ryback's come a long way from, he started off so high and then went so low, and now he's, back in that middle area, and he looks like he belongs there, and it's something I like about him. But, of course, it was against the Big Show. They started off really solid, but it just kind of went downhill from there. And before the match, Miz came out and was going to sit on commentary and shot, stuff at the crowd. He said some pretty great stuff. It's a must watch. If you haven't seen it, you have to hear some of the stuff that the Miz said, which was fantastic. So he was on point tonight. So Big Show and Ryback are fighting, and let's see. Ryback started off really strong. Immediately spinebuster, meat hook, going for the shell shock, but Big Show counters, and then it gets really slow. Ryback hit a point on suplex, which was really nice looking. And then as it starts wearing down and stuff, Ryback starts getting ahead. He's about to win. Miz comes in the ring and attacks Big Show, getting Ryback disqualified. So I guess we're looking at a triple threat at Battleground or at SummerSlam, which I don't know. I don't really mind. I feel like Miz will add something to the match that'll make it a lot better, because Ryback versus Big Show is so slow unless Big Show went all out at Extreme Rules with Roman Reigns, and Reigns can do more than Ryback can. So athletically at least. So there's more opportunity once you add in that third man, I think, for there to be more stuff to go on. So that's nice. Next up, champion versus champion, John Cena versus Kevin Owens. This match is very unique in the sense that basically what happens here is John Cena and Kevin Owens start off this basically exact same way they did at Elimination Chamber, but all of a sudden they just start pulling out moves. Like I'm expecting to see the same match again, honestly, and I'm like, oh, I'm okay with that, because it's kind of like watching WrestleMania 25 HBK and Undertaker to WrestleMania 26 HBK and Undertaker. There's a few things changed, but for the most part, it's basically the same match. And that's what I was expecting, but this is something totally different. Cena and Owens, they did, Owens did a German suplex at some point. He had John Cena up on his shoulders in like a queen suplex kind of position, like electric chair drop, and he flips him around into a sit-out powerbomb. Cena jumped on the shoulders and did the Yoshi Tonic of onto Kevin Owens. And God, there's a lot of stuff, but there was cool stuff in it, but because they were trying so much new stuff, because I guess, I don't know if that was Owens' idea or Cena's idea or whose idea that was, but because there was so much new stuff, it felt like Cena hadn't really practiced some of this stuff before. And so, it was really botchy. Cena already has the worst dropkick he has great ups, but he doesn't move his body in a way that looks like a dropkick. It's like his legs and his upper body are controlled by two different brains, and he can't control them at the same time. So when he does a dropkick, his upper body is stiff as all hell, and his legs just go and kick out. So it's really weird. I can't explain it. It's just strange. So John Cena's already like that, and there was a very interesting aspect to this match that I really, really enjoyed. And it was, I didn't really enjoy it, but I noticed it. And it was that Owens was fighting Cena again. But Cena was pulling out all the stops and learning. He countered the pop-up powerbomb more often. He stayed more on top of it. He learned, which was something I thought was really cool. They made Cena look like he learned from their last match. Owens, however, he lives more so in the moment. He lives to fight and in the fight. He doesn't really prepare for the fight. So, in that sense, it made sense, kayfabe-wise, why Cena would suddenly use these new moves and try to switch up his arsenal a little bit. Because this way, the match felt different. Excuse me. Okay, excuse me, sorry. The match felt different, but at the same time, it was like the same people, and it's a really good match. It wasn't as good as the Elimination Chamber match, and maybe that's because Cena came out the victor this time, but it was a really good match in its own way, and that's what's cool about it, is that it's not cool because it's just like that other match. It is cool because it's its own match. You could stand them up next to one another, and it's completely different. There's a lot more striking in the first match. There's not much striking in this match. It's a lot of power moves, a lot of grappling, which is cool, and I really like that. Cena ends up hitting not one, not two, but 3 attitude adjustments, while Owens only hit 1 pop-up powerbomb, and he hit it while they were replaying something, so I didn't even see it. I came back up, and they were like, oh yeah, he hit a pop-up powerbomb, 1, 2, oh, he kicked out, which was stupid, I thought. But unless you count the spin out, sit out powerbomb as kind of his finisher, a different version of his finisher or whatever, then Owens only hit the finisher 1 time in the entire match, while Cena had to hit his 3 times. The finish was really weird because Cena went for the springboard stunner and he missed. I'm going to be straight out. He just missed. He lands too short, I think. And so Owens has to pretend, because I thought he reversed it. I was like, oh my God, he reversed it. Pop-up powerbomb. It's going to be over. But then all of a sudden he's selling it. And I'm like, wait, what? So that was weird. There's just that, it's kind of botchy. So it's not a straight 5-star match. I give it 3.5, maybe 3.75 compared to their other one, which was an easy 4.5, 4.25. So that, and then the commentators were so good at some points in this match and so terrible, absolutely god awful. The commentators, I don't know if maybe Jerry Lawler just really, really likes Owens, because I know he's wrestled him before in the pile driver match, but I don't know if he just really likes him though, because he keeps talking up Owens, and then he realizes that he's a face commentator, and so then he has to talk down Owens right afterwards. So it contradicts each other. So he'll be like, wow, look at the power of Owens. And then Michael Cole has to be like, oh yeah, but look at Cena. And then Lawler has to be like, oh yeah, that's right, Cena, he's good. And it was wonky. And there were points where they kept reviewing Kevin Owens kicking out in at certain points in the match. It happened 2 or 3 times. They would review him kicking out because they were trying to come up with a reason as to why he didn't actually kick out, and trying to convince the ref. And that was so annoying to me, because he's kicked out. It doesn't matter, first of all. And second of all, like, why are you trying to talk him down? Like, as if he's not actually that tough all of a sudden. Like, half the match is them being like, Owen's this fresh startup from NXT, he's so good, and then the next half of the match is, he's not that good, he's just accidentally kicking out, the ref actually sucks. It contradicts, and it was really annoying, and it took away like a huge majority of this match for me, was the botchiness and the commentators. They were just, I feel like I almost would have enjoyed the match more with nothing on, just because I could sit and mark to myself, like, you know, just be like, oh, here comes, the power, you know, like sit there and enjoy myself a little more instead of hearing, oh, he didn't kick out, that's stupid, you know, from Michael Cole. So that was really annoying. Next up, we have the tag team championship match. Primetime Players versus the New Day, and it's Big E and Xavier Woods, because Kofi Kingston was in the ladder match. Primetime Players walk out the tag team champions. The reason I say it that way is because it was probably, I mean, besides the disqualification on Ryback and Big Show, and I haven't seen Nikki Bella versus Paige, I had to say it was probably the worst match of the night. I mean, it was just, it was pretty slow. It was Darren Young getting beat up for the first 5 minutes, and then he gets the hot tag to Titus O'Neil, and friggin' Big E tags in Woods. He beats up Woods. Big E hits a spear on Young through the ropes, and then I guess Titus Young hit a spinebuster, Clash of Titus, whatever. It just looked like a spinebuster to me, and I was like, 1, 2, kick. Oh, and now they're tag team champs. So I feel like they earned it. Primetime Players earned it. They are two, especially after watching Elimination Chamber, they are two incredible athletes. Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, I really enjoyed them. But that match, there was just nothing flowing there. Just something wasn't going right. There, I don't know what it was. But there just wasn't anything there. It just kind of fell apart a little bit. And then the finish was just like, whoa, oh, okay. So that sucked. But now next up is our main event, which at Elimination Chamber, Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose was slow, had a wonky finish. Overall was just kind of boring and was whatever, but the finish was just like, whoa, what happened? And then they got flipped and Dusty finished stuff. So this match, kind of suffers from the same thing, honestly. The ladder match aspect was, I mean, the ladder, they used it really well in some parts, or in all parts for the most part. I think, I can't remember if there's any bad little ladder things. I think, no, there's nothing bad, but they decided to go with like an Ambrose leg injury, so he hits him with a ladder, or with a chair while he's climbing the ladder on his left leg, but Ambrose had a lot of trouble selling it. Like, not like he would do fine where he would be like adrenaline wise, and then right afterward he'd be like, oh god, my leg, I can't stand, I have to rest it for a little bit before I can get back into this. He did a good job of that. But sometimes when he was walking, he would just like limp on both legs because he couldn't remember which one it was. I don't know, but that was really wonky and bothered me a little bit. But just the leg selling with Ambrose, the recoil clothesline, I don't know, whatever you call it, the rope hung clothesline, the rebound clothesline, whatever. They did a cool spot with that where they teased it once and then he threw a ladder at him. And then the second time he gets in the ring and he kicks him and he falls back and he's about to go for the clothesline. And then Rollins does his like Pele kick kind of thing that he does. And then he did it again, and then when he hit the clothesline, it looked great. There was another spot where Rollins was hung up on the top rope and close to the corner, and Ambrose got up into the corner and jumped off the second, hit a clothesline, and that one had a lot of force. That one looked really, really good. The sound was really nice. Like, it was just like a, like pop. And that was probably my favorite clothesline I think he's ever thrown, honestly, just because of the sound it had and stuff. So That match was it was pretty good. Had a lot of cool spots. He did back body drop over the top rope, then broke the ladder that was hanging in between the table and the apron. Rollins was doing some cool stuff. He did the running powerbomb into the corner, but he did it on the outside into the wall, which he's done before. Then he did it again. Then he did a sitting a pop or a sit out powerbomb onto a ladder that had chairs on top of it. So that was a cool spot. And then he buried Ambrose in it and then went to climb the ladder, and Ambrose still got up after the leg injury, after everything. He was just still fighting. And then the finish, once again, is just... Basically what happens is after that, Rollins climbs up to the top and Ambrose follows him, and then they both put their arms into the into the title belt, and then it falls and they both fall down. And when they hit the ground, Ambrose lets go of the title, and Rollins clings to it and grabs it. So they went by football terms and said, because in football, when a defender and a receiver catch a ball at the same time and drop, and they both hit the ground, then then that's it. Like then whoever comes up with the ball is the one holding the ball. So I didn't get that. I think it's kind of dumb. There better be a rematch. That's all I can say. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's about it for after that. They interviewed Rollins. Rollins was like, I'm the best, you know. So that's about it. That was the whole show. Honestly, just lackluster all across the board. It's really disappointing because I was expecting a lot, especially out of I was expecting like just a less botchy match out of Cena and Owens. I thought that was really strange. The Money in the Bank ladder match really fell short. I mean, you have Neville and Kingston and Ziggler, and you put on a match that goes for like 12 minutes, and it's just, there were no real amazing spots. There was like 3 great spots. I guess I don't know. It fell short. It just fell short. But that's it for this one. That's it for Money in the Bank. I'll try to do this for more pay-per-views. I think that would be cool. But that's it. And it was there were moments where it was just like really good. Like Miz was really good. John Cena and Owens was really good. Rollins and Ambrose were doing really well. It was kind of slow, but it was still really good. But it just fell short. So that was disappointing. But maybe Battleground will be... Oh, that's the other thing I forgot. Before the main event, or before the tag team match, I think. I don't remember exactly when. But it was announced that at Battleground it will be Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, which last time we had a Battleground, and last time Bray Wyatt was on it, he lost to Chris Jericho, who hadn't really been in the ring in a year or something like that. So, not expecting much. I was the biggest Bray Wyatt fan in the world for a long time, and even ever since WrestleMania 30, ever since around Elimination Chamber, I've been the biggest Bray Wyatt fan, and it finally got to me, and I've given up on him. I don't think that there's anything that's ever going to come of him. They're never going to do anything with him. So, and he's going up against Roman Reigns, which means he has to lose. Even if he wins the match, he'll probably lose the next 3. So, same thing with Rusev. It seems like everybody I like. I'm going to try not to like people anymore so that we don't get buried Wyatt and buried Rusev. So, that sucks. But pay-per-view, just not that great. Expected just more. But, we still got NXT this Wednesday, which is easy to review if I decide to do it, especially with Joe and Owens going at it one-on-one. That'll be interesting. And then we've got Balor versus Owens for the NXT title. So we'll see how that one goes. Yeah. At the end of the Owens and Cena match, I may have forgotten to mention, he did hit Cena with a pop-up powerbomb onto the apron, and Cena had to walk out. But honestly, it was just a sloppy powerbomb on the apron. Like, he just kind of like bounced a little bit off the apron and then got it, like, hit the ground. It was just like, it hurts. But it just looked weaker than, like, the way he hit Zayn the first time looked perfect, and the way he hit Zayn the most recent time I thought looked pretty good, and I think the one he hit on Neville was pretty good, but that one on Cena was just it. He just kind of like boink, bounced, and that was it. Like, if he could get it, and maybe they can work on that or something, I don't know, but if he can just get it right to where it's just the top, like that shoulder area where it just looks like it's just their like head and shoulders hitting it instead of like their lower back, I feel like it looks much better there. Because there's more like boom and lurch forward, and it makes it look like it has so much more force. So hopefully we get something better out of that. And I honestly hope that Cena's like out for the next month with an injury, and that's why they're not going to have a match at Battleground. So we'll see what happens with that. But for right now, this is it. I hope you enjoyed. I'll have to make one again for Battleground, I guess. Maybe. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.